All right, today I'm going to try something completely new for me, and I don't actually know anybody who does this, although I do have friends who know about it, who are gardening friends. So I'm going to attempt soil blocking, and the reason I'm going to try it is because the cost of soil blocking seems way cheaper than the cost of buying all of the really nice growing seed starting kits or whatever. So I thought, why not? And I found on Gardener's Workshop, they give you a do-it-yourself blocking mix nutrient. And you mix this in with compost and peat moss, which I happen to have a ton of. And then they also sell this little guy, the soil blocker. Now, when I got this in the mail, I didn't realize really how small it was. Like, look at that. That's not even as big as my hand, and that is 20 tiny little compartments where when you pick it up and you put it into whatever container you're gonna grow in, puts little divots in it, itty bitty. So I'm gonna try this today with this little guy with some pansy seeds that I wanna start and see how that goes. I did order a larger one from Gardener's Supply. Yeah, gardeners.com. Gardener's Workshop actually has one that's bigger, and it has room for you to put these little divots into the bigger one when you're ready to size them up. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, and it's also out of stock right now, so I was like, well, okay. So I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try it in 2 different containers. So on Gardener's Workshop, they actually sell these really shallow containers. This is not from Gardener's Workshop. This was from Gardener's Supply. It's part of my set. And I thought, you know, these are so tiny. I might try some of these in here just to see if it works. So got that option. And then, because I really do want to try some with humidity domes, I actually bought these from, I ordered them from walmart.com. And like literally, it's something to make like your turkey or your stuffing in. And it's got its own little humidity dome. It's tossable, so you know, I can clean it up and try and use it again, or I can just toss it. Now, one thing I did notice when they said you need a flat surface. So on the inside, it's got this little shape, and I literally just came and kind of squished it down. So we'll see if that works. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I thought this year I'm going to try. I should not talk when I'm turning the other way. I thought this year I should try seed starting pansies because I love them so much, and we do have a local garden center that has gorgeous pansies, but I could spend $200 on pansies easy and only get a tiny chunk of my garden, which isn't huge, by the way. It's just that, you know, pansies aren't the cheapest flower. They're not the most expensive flower, but I ordered 350 seeds from Johnny's. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I've just made a mental note to stop saying all the time. I make training for a living, and I always have to go in and edit myself out when I say so we'll see if I manage. All right, here we go. First thing I did was I got the proper mixing items. So I've got a 1 cup scoop and a half cup. Is that a half cup? Yes, a half cup for this. So it says a half cup blocking nutrient for 4 cups of sifted compost, 16 cups of sifted peat moss. I have no way of sifting anything. I looked it up online and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I have no way to do that. So you mix the dry products, then you add 6 to 7 cups of water, mix, and then you get the consistency that you need. The reason I was a little hesitant about trying soil blocking is because you need soil that's going to stick together. And I've gone online and I've seen videos where they just really get their soil really wet. That doesn't work. I don't see how that's a thing. And when I looked at Gardener Supply, which is where I ordered the other blocking set, it was again, just use our seed starting mix and get it really moist. And I thought, that's just gonna fall apart the first time that I water it. Anyway, that was my expert thought. So I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try it. The only reason I'm gonna give it a try is because they have this. So this has green sand and rock phosphate. So this is supposed to be what kind of holds everything together. Let me see. It doesn't say how many half cups are in here, but so 6 to 7 cups, 16 cups of peat moss, 4 cups of compost, plus a half cup of this is supposed to make one batch. Then they say a good way to mix it is with your potato masher. So we will not tell my husband that I'm using the potato masher to mix soil. I'm used to just kind of mixing things with my hand, but we'll see. Also, I have coffee that I need to keep out of the way. I'm gonna scooch that up there. It can keep my plants happy. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start mixing and we'll see how this goes. I've got peat moss that I bought in a huge bag from, look at me, I'm not stopping talking. I bought peat moss. I have a huge bag. That's how I'm storing my dahlias. I have a ton left over. And I bought Land and Sea compost because I've never dealt with any other kind of compost. I don't know if that's actually gonna work. This is a huge experiment. We'll see. So that was 4 cups of compost, 16 cups of peat moss. Now for a half cup of the mix. And I think before I do that, I'm gonna just kind of mix this with my hands a little bit. There were some clumps in that peat moss. It's been sitting out in my garage for a minute. So I've got quite a bit of stuff in here. There was a tiny hint of seed starting mix left in the bottom. Not a big deal. This is pretty decently full. And I'm just kind of getting some of the big chunks to settle down. I didn't sift it, so we'll see. Okay, half a cup of blocking nutrient. All right, I haven't even opened this yet. And I never use gardening gloves when I'm just doing seed starting or potting in the house. So half a cup, I'll level that out, hint more. It really does kind of look like cement mix. But this is the only website where I found any sort of explanation as to how you get the soil to stick together. So this is really fine, powdery stuff. I think I'm just gonna sprinkle. Here we go. Okay, mix it again with my hands. Okay. That is mixed. At this point, it just looks like I have dusty soil, and I'm inhaling dusty soil. Good thing my nose knows what it's doing. Aha. Okay. So then we're gonna mix 6 to 7 cups of water and mix well. This is 7 cups. I'm gonna go sort of judiciously, see what happens. So there's quite a bit of water already, and I'm going to use my little potato masher. Just mix it up. This is very odd, but not horrible. I think I'm going to have to add more water though. We'll see. Oh, this is interesting. It's really dry in our house because we have the heat running constantly. So, and the peat moss from the garage was just super dry the way it's supposed to be. So it says that you can add additional water if needed to make a wet oatmeal consistency. I do love me some oatmeal, but I'm trying to remember what that would be like. Maybe adding more water to this after. So this is these 7 cups we got here. I don't know how super wet it's supposed to get. All right. Did I mention this is my first time doing this? I think I did. This is me exploring, trying to save money. Is that wet oatmeal? Okay, yeah, that's actually squeezing out some water. So I'm just gonna finish mixing this up with my hands so I can really tell what I'm doing. That's the whole thing. Try to get those edges in there. And I think we're gonna do this. Wet oatmeal. I may have to like add some water to different, oh yeah, that's really sticking together. I figured out the math. I wanna say I can get 300 cells on this tiny little tray. So I'm not gonna go that high because this is an experiment. I think probably what I'm gonna do is maybe do one set over here and then a different variety over here, half and half. Okay, here we go. I love gardening so much. It keeps me happy. Okay, so number one, I just realized you can't try to put it in the dirt like this because then it just literally pops everything out. So you're supposed to put it in the dirt. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay. Keep shoving. Okay. Shovity shove, shove, shove. And then scrape along the bottom. Okay, that actually looks really cool. And I'm gonna pull this up here so you can see what I'm doing. Here's the first batch. Let's see, each one of these is 20, 40, 50, yeah, 5. Okay, so here we're gonna do one, should I do this way? Math. You would never know that I was actually really good at math. Once upon a time. Here's the middle. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do. Look at those cute little blocks. They are tiny. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Okay, grab that. You just keep kind of pressing until you get it all filled up. And it has a little divot that you can't see from over there. I apologize for that. I'm just gonna pack some of this on the bottom. Yeah, I think the sifting was a key step, but I don't have the means to do that, so. Okay. Okay.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm going to carefully take this over to my office. I'm not using a heat mat. My office is where my seed starting is, by the way. I'm not going to use a heat mat for this. I'm just going to see if it'll be warm enough in the house to do this. We're learning. Be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the aluminum pans. And I'm not going to film all of this because it's the same exact thing, but I'll show you when it's done and I'll show you the finished setup. So these I'm testing out. Does an aluminum pan really make a good seed starting thing? Because it comes with the built-in humidity dome. Woo! Woo! Yes, my natural silly is coming out. And then these are gonna go on heat mats. So I'm gonna go stop this video and I will start it up again later. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is where we ended up with the aluminum foil pan. It is on a heat mat. Then over here, and I apologize for shaky cam, this is my little bamboo mini LED setup. And on one side is one variety, one side is the other variety. And I just did a little press and seal to give them a little humidity. So we'll see how that works. Thanks for hanging out with me while I took care of this, and I will see you next time.